Hello everyone, I hope you are well. I am Amin from Amino-Vid's channel. As I said, I want to talk about making these subsurface scattering materials. We are going to make these two materials together, according to the request I had in the community. If you need any material, tell me so that I can make it for you. One of our good friends in Palestine in Gaza City, called Motion Asher, if I'm not mistaken, sent me a video from Google that shows a series of sphere. There is a wood texture that we make together here. After we make these materials together, we test on this famous dragon to see how it will turn out. In the meantime, I have made a pack of 12 of these materials on Engineer Octane and Redshift. You can pre-purchase this pack of 12 from me, and its amount is between $1 and $7, depending on your financial ability. You can determine the cost yourself. Also, if you like my videos, share them with your friends on LinkedIn. Let's get started. I took this scene from the Pixel site in order to perform my own materials. From minute 1 to minute 3:30 I am talking about this scene and not about the material. If you don't want to see it, you can skip the video. Well, as you can see, here I have a circle plane, a ball shader, a camera and a light shining on the ball shader. First of all, I will show you how the camera settings are set. In the composition section, we can turn on composition helpers and use its guidelines. Now we will also check the Octane tag settings of the camera. It's time to see the light settings, and also the light Octane tag. This is the image of the texture that I gave to the Octane Sky tag. I will put all the textures that I used for you in this description link and also in the Telegram channel, so there's no need to worry. Adding material to this ball shader. First, from the material section, select Octane Specular Material, and assign it to ball shader. As you can see, ball shader has become glass. And now I click on the material, and click on the node editor. I will change the amount of roughness and add an image texture to it. As I said in the first video, I will put all these textures for you. I click on the texture and half its power. You can see that my material has become cloudy, and it no longer has the same transparency. In the original material, you can see that we have a warm undertone on the surface of our object, so I add an RGB spectrum from the reflection part and make the shader color warmer. In order to create a bump on the surface of my object, it is enough to add to the bump texture map. I reduce the power of the texture. I also change the value of the index. As you can see, the index is a coefficient for the transparency of the glass material. The higher the value, the more visible the inner diameter of the material. I also give an RGB spectrum to the transmission and change its color. We are getting closer to the desired material. But the most important part of creating this material is using the medium tab, where I can add a scattering to it, change the settings according to the video. And add an RGB spectrum to the absorption and change the shader color. Now it's time for the scattering. I'll give it an RGB spectrum. In order to reach the desired material that we see, it is enough to remove the tick of this absorption invert. The material is created. I can increase the amount of roughness and give fake shadow. This material has the same steps as the previous material, only we make a difference in changing the shaders. From the material part, I add an octane specular and assign it to ball shader. I click on the Node Editor tab and increase the amount of roughness and assign an image texture to it. Now it's the turn of the reflection. I give it an RGB spectrum and warm its color a little. I add an image texture to the bump and reduce its amount a little. I also change the value of the index. Now, from the medium section, one will add the medium scattering and change its values like the video. Be careful to uncheck the invert absorption tick. In order to make the material warmer, it is enough to add an RGB spectrum to it from the transmission part and change its shader color. In the comment tab, we also tick the fake shadows. As in the previous section, we can increase and decrease the amount of roughness as desired. Now, after 10 minutes, you should get up from behind your desk and relax for 2 or 3 minutes and then go back to teaching. This is the video that Asher sent me, and he wanted me to create a wood material for him. I select a sphere and increase the number of its segments. If we want our material to be applied with high precision, we must have all its maps, bump, normal, metallic, roughness and albedo maps to make it look more real for us. Well, I will add an octane universal material from the material section, and I will give it to the sphere. From the albedo section, select the image texture, and add the desired texture. Now it's time to enter the texture for the metallic. In order to reduce the power on the texture, I add the roughness map to it. Now I add the texture related to the normal map. We reach the main part, displacement. When I added the texture, we can see that it has a lot of prominence. It is enough to reduce the size of the height. In order to see a higher resolution, I can increase the level up detail, which makes your scene heavier. If this texture doesn't match right on your sphere, change the type of sphere you have. Now I try the sphere with the darker texture, and you can see that it sat exactly on my sphere. Now let's go and perform these materials that we made together in this sense, which is this famous dragon. I used the wood material for the disc, and the SSS material for the dragon. Let's see. how it was made. Thank you for being with me until the end of this video. Thank yourself for watching a new tutorial today. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel and introduce my channel to your friends on YouTube and LinkedIn. Have a nice day.
لایک و سابسکرایب یادتون نره. مرسی.